Well, I guess I wouldn't mind hearing from each of you briefly, like what a typical day looks like for you.
Typically, typically I get in earlier than Les. So
okay.
When Les
make sure I have that down here for the record.
Thank you for that.
Are you managing your manager?
And typically, I stay a lot longer than.
Okay.
So when Les gets in, we usually meet for an undetermined amount of time and discuss different things that are either happened in the past, so we understand what we think's going on, and get prepared for if we have a meeting that day or this week. So, for example, we had a meeting before we came here, and we got together, not today, but yesterday, to talk about, okay, what are we doing? What's the point? And like, what is our take? What do we want to get from the meeting, right? Mm-hmm. And then what are good outcomes for us? Then there's then Les does a lot of other things, but for me is I just review either what our guys are doing, right? So
when you say guys, what do you mean?
We have three guys who work in our department with us. Okay. So Jeff's one. Mm-hmm. He does only future stuff. Okay. We have Gerard who does future and sourcing, and then we have Kevin Tolbert who just does sourcing. So go talk to them to find out if there's anything going on. Is there anything new out there? Is there anything that we need to know to potentially address? Lately, we've been spending a lot of time on contract resolutions for 2019. Yep. So, and then one of the things that we do just internally, we don't ever go ask people at the plant, is what do we think plants need, right? So as Les was talking earlier, for our primary, I think our group's primary role at anything is to make sure there's work for the members in the plants. Right. And so then we usually have a couple meetings a day, and then by that time it's time to leave. And I know Les does. He has other.
But we do, as far as going to the resolution part, there are opportunities for all the membership to put forward their resolutions at the proper time that get taken under consideration.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
It's for the national level?
Yes,
I see.
and they have negotiators that'll be negotiating that they've elected on their behalf.
Okay. Okay, so do you sort of direct the work of Jeff, Gerard, and Kevin?
Well, Les usually gives the overall picture, and we talk about who gets what job assignment. Okay. Then I usually follow up like, hey, so what's going on? What is there anything new? Do you need any help with anything? Right. If people need help getting into a meeting or something, I'm usually the person who tries to open those doors or get information. And if that doesn't work, then I give it to Les.
And we try to follow up on their assignments as far as, if they're making plant visits to particular plants. Hey, how did it go? Any concerns? Anything? Hey, are they up to par on their monthly reports? Or a lot of times you'll find out when you visit the plant, hey, maybe that wasn't in a report, but it's of interest to us, or if we can support or help it. And also some of the for the advanced side, some of the meetings that they go to, whether it be on engine or transmission, or some of the other type meetings that when we do a team meeting, hey, report out of between just our team, where are we at here, and here. And also I think like yesterday, we were meeting with the directors on occasion from Ford or vehicle line directors and trying to get overview views for what's going on at a high level from the company side and establish those relationships, mutual relationships, for the sharing of information, which we need, especially even more so right here at contract time and doing that and getting that going.
Who are these meetings? What are the meetings? How are those established?
Contractually, gives us the ability to get involved with the meetings.
Who are you meeting with?
Well, typically we have, there are meetings with a whole team. So a Bronco team, right?
I see.
But
Are you having meetings regarding Bronco now? Are you meeting with folks around Bronco now?
We are.
Some of the team is.
Oh, okay, all right.
But so it's more of we get to know the first vehicle line director, right?
Okay.
Then the chief engineers of the program.
Okay.
And then we just give them our little introduction, who we are, what we do, and they usually have no issue with it.
Yeah.
So so it's cool, but a lot of we'll spend time on the meetings, but it's not like there's a lot of tidbits that we can take away. It's rare that we get something.
And on occasion, we'll have to work with our company counterparts at the national level to say, hey, maybe Claire's new to this position.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize that the UAW has access and involvement and how that role plays.
Okay.
Just on occasion, we work through it.
Well, why don't we talk, because you're talking about this, the meetings, like just sort of question 9 in terms of where is there sort of interaction and like points of influence for the UAW, sort of in theory and kind of practically speaking, around, I guess sort of in a launch, like in a vehicle launch, sort of looking at the sort of whole process of a vehicle launch. I know you're not going to capture everything, but I'm just wondering, like, where can you influence? I guess decisions that affect work design. So, like how the jobs workers perform. The
current process allows us contractually. I think it says 50 to 36 months out in appendix
50 to 36 months out.
In appendix B, and obviously the earlier we get involved, we want to be involved as early as possible.
Right.
To help.
When you say we, it's like it's the
UAW
team.
UAW sourcing, advanced manufacturing team, and then part of our responsibility is to be involved so early.
Yeah.
If we see something, honestly, that we were concerned about or raise a red flag, or something that we could work jointly together to capture for a particular plant product, that's the time to do it, because a lot of the other language we have, let's say, the later you get into the process, the more things are locked down and harder to influence.
Yeah.
So, and with what Les is saying, when I said Bronco, your eyes lit up. But
no, I'm just wondering if that's happening now.
It is happening now, but this has nothing to do with Les or current leadership, but all that stuff was already sourced, right?
Yeah.
So by the time Les came in, he asked us about it, and we said, all that stuff has been sourced. So
for Bronco, this meeting you had with the Bronco.
Yeah. So now the meetings that we attend, you just hear like basically the business updates, what's going on. So we get to be involved in that.
But there are still some opportunities do present themselves after that. But the earlier you are and further upstream you are, the better it is.
So there's contractual language that says 50 to 36 months out. Is that from like job 1 or? Okay.
So 50 months.
Pre-job 1. It's all the planning that goes
you go
before you ever. It goes backwards.
It's 50 months from
job.
From job.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I just want to add at least one thing on this question.
No, we can talk. This question's a meaty question.
What we do is, so if we know vehicles, like Ford is going to be coming out with Project X or whatever, we get together and we say, okay, this is what we understand. Usually before we even talk to Ford, like that's going to go to this plant, one of our plants. So that's good. So we are, like, in a sense, our plant's a supplier too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at that. All right. So is there anything in there that we think is really important, whatever, component-wise or technology-wise, that should come into our plants?
Yep.
So then we talk to Les and talk as a group, and we say, all right, we need you, Les, to take this to our leadership, because we can't go to Ford and say, "Oh, bring in this." It'd have to be.
Okay.
We'd have to prep our vice president.
I see.
We'd have meetings with Ford leadership, and then they would have that discussion.
Okay.
So
that's a good clarification.
And we do have the ability to bring those up at the national level in our meetings, but sometimes some of the really substantial investment stuff, they do funnel up.
So it's both kind of you and then potentially the VP. like
or
your
his
team,
our team would funnel up to the